Rural EMS departments in Iowa are closing because no one's left to volunteer.
And others are struggling to hold on. KCCI Chief Investigative Reporter James Stratton continues our Essential series tonight, showing us the lengths that some people go to make sure their communities are protected. James?
And Steve and Stacy, 40 EMS departments have either one or two people on their rosters, according to data that we obtained from the Iowa Department of Public Health. Take that a step further. 5 of those have just one. Perhaps it makes sense, though, to have one in the Buchanan County Sheriff's Office, or maybe just one at Riverside Casino on the east side of the state. But the other 3 are rural Iowa towns with just one person there to respond. While those volunteers keep departments open, more than a dozen have closed in the last 2 years because there's simply no one left.
There was no one to take over.
The ambulance barn is still connected to the fire station in Allerton, Iowa. The sign still on the garage door.
It was hard. It was a hard decision.
But the service itself is no longer running. Becky Heisel was the head of the Allerton First Responders up until she decided on the department's final curtain call. January 7th, 2020, she called the state to let them know the 30-plus year service was closing.
They were really, really heartfelt about closing down because they know how important those are.
A town of roughly 500 that once took pride in the number of EMS volunteers, down to just 1 and 2 nurses to help out, until that last volunteer had health troubles of her own.
I had a heart attack and ended up having to have 5 bypasses. I didn't have the strength anymore. And, it was really tough to make that decision.
Now, Allerton is covered by EMS at the nearby hospital in Corydon, about 6 miles away.
Even though the response time may only be affected by a couple of minutes, it's still, you still have that concern.
Allerton is one of 16 EMS departments across the state that have closed since the start of 2020. From here to Havelock to Nashua to Montrose to Menlo and more, no part of the state is immune to the issue. 14 of those closed due to lack of personnel. Tiffany Bowles is keeping the doors open at the Kellerton EMS.
Well,
she's the only emergency medical responder in the Ringgold County town of a couple hundred.
all of the trauma dressings, oxygen, tubing.
This go bag replaces the outdated ambulance that sits in the garage.
Syringes can be used for a lot of different things.
She keeps it with her so she can respond before the Ringgold County ambulance, about 10 miles away.
Well, why not take the ambulance?
It would take me longer to get it started than it would be for me to get my vehicle there. And by the time that I would get there, the ambulance would probably be from Ringgold County already there.
That Ringgold County ambulance is stationed where Bowles works at the county hospital. Her coworkers there asked her to become the first responder to keep that service open.
Compassion, I don't know. That's one thing that's kind of built into all nurses.
Bowles is able to become an emergency first responder with her certifications as an RN, but she says with another few classes, she can become an EMT. Right now, she provides medical care until that Ringgold County ambulance can show up.
If I was able to get there in a shorter amount of time, or anyone who was able to get there in a shorter amount of time and able to save it, because a lot can happen in those 10 minutes.
Even though that old Ford ambulance hasn't been out in a call in a while, it's Bowles who keeps the service running.
You don't have to be in that or know anything about it just to be a volunteer. Just go and show up, and someone else is going to be there to be able to help.
Just show up to keep the doors open, the service is running, and the community's safe.
It's important for people to get involved in their communities. That's how we stay alive.
Now, Bowles has only responded to a handful of calls since she started last September. Still, she is that lifeline for people in Kellerton until that Ringgold County ambulance can get there. When asked why more people don't volunteer to become EMTs, both she and the other ambulance operators in Ringgold County pointed to the price of an EMT course. That can cost upwards of $800, they say. The Ringgold County ambulance is working to get a grant for funding to put more people through that EMT program, hopefully getting more EMTs on the department there. Steve.